Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Hey guys, welcome to the Lion's Den and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all. So, we're going to be finishing off our little BTS sort of health reading with Jhope. And before I get started, for those of you who have gone to follow me on Twitter, you'll know that I actually completed an entire J-Hope reading, and my camera malfunctioned and deleted like over 30 minutes of footage that I had for you guys. Most of the cards were not saved. Luckily, I did take a picture of the tarot cards that I'd drawn out for him. So I'm pulling these out again to just go over in detail what messages I've received for J-Hope and what he's going through currently. The oracle cards and everything else, I'm going to have to just reshuffle and see what comes out for him this time. But also, if you want to purchase a reading from me, the link will be in the description. Information on how to will also be there. My email address is there. Remember to follow me on Twitter. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and let's begin. So, J-Hope, if you notice, guys, his reading is already a bit different from the other readings that I've already done for the other members, because 10 tarot cards have come out for him, and these are 5 from 2 different decks. And the reason why that is because I was strongly getting, when I was initially using the Wildwood Tarot, that even though these are the cards that came out, that there was a strong emotional feeling that was under that, and I didn't know how to bring it out. And I know I try not to use darker cards. I'm trying to use a little more lighter cards, especially around Christmas time. But I figured I was going to need a little more of an intense deck, just a little bit more of an intense deck. So I pulled out the Modern Day Spellcasters deck and just kind of went into more detail about what was going on with J-Hope. And so starting off with the Wildwood Tarot, the first row of cards is basically talking about, with the Six of Wands and the Son of Cups, it's talking about right now J-Hope is in a state of celebration. He is very happy. The Son of Cups talking about with his victory over what BTS has achieved musically. He's very grateful. He's very excited that their talents are being recognized, continuing on with the Six of Cups reverse and Judgment. He's very excited about the attention that they're receiving. He thinks that they, both good and bad, he feels like that it is justified. He thinks that it is necessary, and he's honestly, with the Son of Pentacles, I feel, is very amazed at the loyalty of fans, and also is dedicated and deciding that he's going to be even more loyal to the BTS fandom army, of course. But underneath all of that, even with his celebration and his victory, there's kind of a little bit of a downfall, because he's worrying. He's worrying about sort of the negative effects of the things that they've said recently. Of course, we know about them talking about disbanding earlier on in this year. And I feel like that's possibly what's going on in the first few cards here with the Knight of Wands reverse and the Page of Wands. I feel like J-Hope is actually very concerned about the after effects of that statement, and basically what's going to come, how people are going to react, how business companies are going to react, and now knowing that, of course, that they were potentially going to break up. Also, I feel like he's on the outside, of course, he's smiling, but on the inside, with the Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords paired together, J-Hope is actually going through a lot of internal turmoil. Like, he's extremely stressed. He's extremely sad. He's extremely depressed. And even though he's going through all of that, he's desperately trying to hide it. He's trying to cover it up. He doesn't really want anybody to see that side of him. The strength card comes is because he's using his strength to sort of hide. He's using his strength to overpower and overcome his sensitivity, and he's using it to overcome just all of his emotions that he has going on right now. But J-Hope is under a lot of pressure, and this is, I feel like it's not just from being in BTS, but mostly I was getting literally just from being J-Hope and not Hosuk. And I'm feeling like there, especially with the contrast and why I had to bring two different decks, I feel like the difference between J-Hope and Hosuk is very apparent. And I feel like he's hiding that. I'm It's something that he is very, what I was picking up is that he's extremely scared of kind of showing how much he is mentally beaten down at the moment. And with the Son of Pentacles and even the Two of Swords and the Nine of Swords, to me, it speaks about J-Hope trying to not burden anyone with the idea that he's not happy, the idea that he is angry, the idea that he is sad, the idea that he can be anything but hopeful. Okay. So there's definitely a loyalty to his character as well. And there's a loyalty to his role as just J-Hope, his role of being the person who is going to try to make sure that everyone else is okay. And in that loyalty is also a strength of his. But that strength, what I'm seeing, it is damaging to Hosuk. Okay. I hope you guys kind of get what I'm saying there. And we're going to move on to the Oracle cards. So we're going to start off with the Archangel Gabriel cards. And we're going to see what comes out for him here. What advice do you have for J-Hope? Any advice for J-Hope? Any advice for J-Hope? Okay. So, as we've been through many times, and almost all of my BTS readings, if not all of them, Mother Mary will come out, or any of the cards that will be referencing mother or parenthood or that strong female figure in your life. And Mother Mary once again comes out for J-Hope as well. So it's talking about just J-Hope again needing to want to go back home and go back and spend time with his family and speak with his mother and speak with his parents and the ones who raised him and the ones who have taken care of him, that he needs to go back and take that time for himself. Even with time management comes out. And time management is basically saying the same thing, that he needs to be able to manage his time accordingly and possibly not necessarily spend too much time focusing on BTS issues or focusing on the other members' issues and more time for himself. Creative expression also comes out. And again, it's talking about J-Hope's talent in dancing and talent in even making music. Speaking of which, I was picking up that he was also probably making more music right now. That's what I was just picking up. I think he's making more music, in the process of making more music. Don't know if it will be released anytime next year or anything, but that's neither here nor there. But I feel like with Archangel Gabriel, he's telling him that again, the dancing and anything that he uses as a creative outlet is a way to de-stress. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the Ask Your Guides deck, Oracle deck, and see what his spirit guides have to say to him. Jhope, sir, guys, want him to come to him about. What do his guides want him to come to them about? What do his guides want him to come to them about? Something flipped over. Okay. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention. So, in also the page of Wands, I believe it was also, I think it was the page of Wands that was also talking about Jhope's choices. It was something that was very important that I was also picking up before, is that Jhope too is under a lot of stress to the point that he's still actually, just like V, possibly still considering leaving. But he doesn't want to mention that to the members. That's what it was, because he doesn't want to mention it to the members because it's something that he doesn't want to feel like he's dangling him leaving in front of their faces or in front of the fans' faces, especially after them being so loyal. What I was getting is that it was something, what was it? That because Jhope has talked about leaving before, it is something that he's very afraid of bringing up again, even though rightfully so, the stress is so intense that it is something that all of them have even discussed leaving together. It's very difficult for Jhope to bring up again that he is very seriously considering that. Okay. Oh, I don't know why I'm shuffling this again. Okay, so what cards fell out for him on what his guides want him to come to them about is, let me see where I'm going to start. Okay, life force. Okay, so we'll start with life force. And if you can see the heart in there as well, I feel like this card is speaking about refinding his purpose and refiguring out what he wants to do in his life and refalling in love with that and not letting what he loves drain him of his life. Okay. So the next card is purpose and master teacher. I believe this is one of the cards that fell out the first time when I tried to do the reading and it got deleted. It again speaks to me on Spirit is saying that Jhope's calling was to teach dance and to be a sort of guide, an earthly guide in a sense, just to teach dance and to give his gift and share his gift with the world. That is what he is meant to do. It is a gift given to him that he's known since he was young, that he's familiar with. That is his purpose, is to use that. New life. I feel like new life, again, Divine Mother is another card that kind of comes out a lot in a lot of my readings for the other members. And it is talking about not only, of course, going to see his mother or his parents, but what I'm also feeling is a time to rejuvenate and be reborn, a time to take himself away from a situation to be able to regain health and become new. Okay. Devotion. Spirit wants him to come to them for a way to become more devoted to what path he's already on. Anytime he strays, anytime he feels like he can no longer do what he wants to do, that he needs to come to them so he can sort of regain that willpower and that strength. Okay, denial. So Spirit, I feel like, is saying that he also needs to speak to them on denying his own existence and sitting there and sort of not letting, not, if you see this picture, right? And you see the light sort of shining on the spotlight on the people in the hands, and this person here covering their eye. I feel like Jhope is definitely, as we spoke about before, not seeing himself for who he is, because the spotlight is too busy on the person that he puts himself out there to be. He puts himself out to be a healer. He puts himself out there to be someone who is helping other people, but he neglects himself. And even though Jhope is a small part of him, that the light is shining on, the bigger part of him is in the dark. Okay, the real Hosuk is in the dark, and he's also trying not to see that. Okay, we have also grace, and that speaks for itself, honestly. Just to come to them on how to carry himself more gracefully and probably a lot more stress free. Physical body. So I don't know if Jhope is trying to get more fit or if he needs to get more fit. The Spirit wants him to come to them for advice on that. And lastly, we have new beginnings. Spirit wants to start a new life for Jhope in a sense of regaining his composure, rebuilding his foundations and where he's at, solidifying his stance in BTS or in whatever that he wants to do. And he needs to come to them if he wants to start anew with a fresh new image, possibly. Okay. And so that's what we have from the Spirit guides. Okay. So now we're going to go into the self-care cards. All right, so what can Jhope do to better take care of himself? That card may have come out too before. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I already mentioned that I was talking about choices for him, but that is something that was reoccurringly coming up. There's too many cards that came out, but we're going to read them. Okay. Alrighty. First off, connection. Okay. It says connect with someone special. A loved one is a gift of treasure. That could also be in relation to going back home and connecting with his friends and family. Okay. Patience, especially with a lot of wands coming up in his tarot reading. It was also talking about him kind of being very hasty and kind of recklessly wanting to make a decision. I really hope that he doesn't make any quick decisions without taking that time to sit there and really think on it. So patience comes out, and patience is to be advised for him in the self-care deck. Blessings are here. Okay, so basically it speaks for itself. There are a lot of blessings that are waiting for Jhope, a lot of blessings that are there for Hosuk, and he just has to find a way to activate those, access them. Okay, nature. Nature just speaks about him getting out. He needs to get out and he needs to get away. Okay, and he needs to be amongst, what I'm seeing here is large bodies of water. That's probably where he needs to be around in order to get some sort of release and some sort of comfort. He needs to free himself from brick buildings. Okay. Goals. Goals talks about him needing to really sit back and take time to make a list of what he really wants and set those as goals, even if it's probably releasing or revealing a little more of Hosuk throughout the year of 2019. then he needs to set that as his goal and take his time into kind of transcending from Jhope to Hoseok, or making a nice blend of the two. Choice. And this is all talking about everything that he does is up to him. No one is going to force him to stay. No one is going to force him to go. No one is going to force him to be Hoseok, and no one's going to force him to be Jhope. So whatever it is that he wants to do, and whatever decision that he wants to make, it's up to him. It's his choice, and that he is being divinely guided and watched over. His spirit guides are with him every step of the way, and whatever he decides, they're going to be there to help him. Okay, I think I'm going to make this under 25 minutes. So the last deck that I'm pulling from are the Grace Oracle cards, Grace Oracle deck. Okay. Okay, so what advice for Jhope do you have? Oh, wow. Okay, so some flew out aggressively. Okay. Is there any other advice for him? Is there any advice for Jhope? Okay. Hold on, someone flipping over in the deck. I don't know if Jhope is Christian or if, he believes in God, but I see pray up here up front. Yeah, okay, pray, ask. Okay, so Jhope is definitely still in the process of making a decision. He's still in the process of making decisions on whatever, but he's in the process of making that decision, and he's being told to pray about that and ask Spirit about it. What does that say? It says perception. Okay, see the past through a lens of grace. All that occurs is designed to support your spiritual evolution. So this is it's funny because this is kind of, to me, saying that even though things are very hard for him now, especially I keep thinking about Jhope and then Hoseok. I feel like perception is speaking almost directly to it. To that image, with all that occurred is designed to support his spiritual evolution. And I think finding a balance between those two things is something that is going to evolve him and grow him as a person. Oh, wow. Okay, right on it. Growth. Okay, so growth. Accept the lesson. Yeah, accept the lesson. When things don't go your way, something more important to the growth of your soul is in the works. Okay. So yeah, Jhope right now is going through a lot of trials and tribulations that he is definitely going to need to work through. If he decides to stick through it, there's going to be a beautiful growth for him. And faith. Wow. Okay, so they're just talking about Jhope needing to have faith in himself, needing to have faith in spirit, have faith in the divine, because there is a plan for him. So with everything that he's going through, if he can power through it, if he decides that he's going to power through it, if he decides he's going to just go through it, that there will be growth for him, and that he just needs to have faith in those around him, have faith in spirit, and have faith in love and loving himself. All right, guys, thank you for tuning into the reading. I'm going to get started on some other things for you guys so I can have it prepared for throughout the holidays. Okay, so until next time, Merry Christmas.